All right. Good morning, everyone. It is day 11. Weehaw! Look at this. I don't know how well you can see that. The clouds are just over the tops of the mountains, and it is absolutely stunning out there this morning. For whatever reason, I did not get a good night's sleep last night. I'm not sure why. I probably got a good 6-7 hours sleep, but it was a very fitful sleep. I was in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out all night long. Woke up at probably about 4 o'clock. Had to use the needed to use the privy, but I didn't want to wake up the people that were in the shelter, and I would have had to go right past them with a light. I just didn't want to do that, so I just sucked it up and waited till at least after 6. I think it was about 6:30 when I finally went to the privy. But the food out here is weird. It gives you massive amounts of gas, these dehydrated meals, and I don't want to gross anybody out, but this is just reality. Sometimes out here you don't know if it's just going to be a fart or if it's going to be something else. And sometimes I'm afraid. Almost every campsite you go to, with a few exceptions, you find where somebody's left a pair of underwear for obvious reasons. And so I don't want that to be me. All right, gross part over. But I did get up early. I heard the section hikers, the 4 section hikers that are passed yesterday, they did take my advice, and they stayed at that shelter/campsite last night. And we got to chat with them for a little while. It was fun. Of course, I always love talking about the trail. And there's another guy with us that he's been on a big part of this trail in the past, so he got to jump in and tell his stories, which I love to hear. And we had a fun evening last night. The 2 youngsters that I stayed ahead of all day yesterday, that was one of them. But they they don't know. They can't decide what they're going to do. Tomorrow is going to be a Nero into Franklin. And Deb's going to pick me up, just like she did 3 years ago, and hang out with me for the night. I'm not going to take a 0 in Franklin this time. I'm going to keep going the next day. She's got other stuff going on, so it fits both of our schedules. But, woo, I'm sweating already, man. I've been out here, I don't know, maybe a mile, 1.2, 1.3, somewhere in that area. And it's been all uphill, not severe uphill, just uphill. Enough to get your body warmed up and the sweat pump's pumping. Today's not going to be a real difficult day, I don't think. Looking at the charts, it's going to be pretty similar to yesterday. A few more puds, short little ups and downs, but I haven't looked at the overall ascents yet, so I'm not sure how much it is going to be, but it doesn't look big. We're doing 12.2, I think, somewhere in that area. That puts us in range to do a Nero into Winding Stair Gap, where Deb will pick us up and take us into Franklin. The 2 youngsters that I'm kind of with, at first they were going to get a shuttle, go in, resupply, come out. And as we were talking, they said, maybe it'd be a good idea to get a hotel for the night. It's pretty cheap. I think they're like $70. So between the 2 of them, you're talking about $35. So that's usually less than the cost of a hostel. But this morning they let me know that they probably won't stay in a hotel. They'll probably just go in and resupply. Now, I told them, listen, if that's all you guys want to do, that's perfect. We will take you into town, take you to resupply, and bring you straight back to the trail. Sorry about that. But we're going to be in too early to check in the hotel anyway, so I have no problem giving these guys a ride back to the trail. Just a little bit of trail magic that I can provide. And and breaking my new car with the dirt and sweat and the stank of a hiker. I don't know how well that's going to go over. I hope Deb, and I'll talk to her tonight, see if she's got something she can lay over the seats. My new car's kind of plush. I broke down, and since I know I'm going to be selling my house soon, and doing a lot of road traveling to various parts of the country and maybe other countries, but I needed something that I can sleep in if I need to. I don't want a big camper van or RV or anything like that, so I bought a 2025 Outback at the end of the year, actually the beginning of this year. Got a hell of a discount on it. It was still 3 times more than I've ever paid for a car in my life, but hey, I can thank the pedophile and his administration for manipulating the market. And I got some big earnings, so I cashed in a little bit at the end of last year and the beginning of this year. And since I'm over the retirement age, it's not going to cost me too much in taxes. And bought my new car. And did it before the pedophile and his band of criminals crashed the stock market. Because it's coming. It can't continue the way it's going right now. It's just the value's not there in this country. And the value decreases in this country day by day by day. So, yeah, it's just a matter of time before it crashes. So, I don't mind losing my initial investments because that's the risk you take when you put money in the stock market. But I took advantage of the earnings. And to be honest, 90% of those earnings came from other times when the Democrats were in charge, not the Nazis. Regardless, it's got nice leather seating, man. I can't get too much funk on it, so I'll have Deb bring some old sheets or blankets or something to cover it up so we don't stank it up too bad. I'm just yapping this morning, folks. I'm just trying to get going, get moving. I want to get as many miles as I can, as early as I can before I start getting tired. My experiment with my insoles yesterday, it's hard to say. I'm still wearing them. My pain was less severe last night and this morning. When I woke up this morning, my left foot, my heel was hurting pretty good. By the time I went to the privy, came back, got my tent, broke down, got on the trail, maybe 5 minutes into the trail. The pain has gone away now. So, yesterday was an easier day. So, with only 2,300 feet of ascent. So, I don't know. But I know today my feet feel better than they have since I started the trail. So, I'll take that as an optimistic view and hope that it's paying off. I know that they worked in 24 when I came back out and finished the last 800 miles of the trail. My feet, the foot pain was much, much, much less than it was before I started with the custom insoles. And just don't wear them around town because you do so much blacktop and concrete walking that it really hurts the arches of my feet. So, I don't know, give and take. It is what it is. What are you going to do? But right now, I'm feeling pretty good other than sweat pouring off of me. Hiking with a guy. Oh, man. I don't know how to describe him. He's wired, man. I met him at the hostel. We were roomies there, and he's a little spastic, and I don't necessarily mean that in a bad way. He talks so fast. I talk a lot. He puts me to shame, and he talks very fast. And he's always trying to get people to help him with this, that, or something else. And then he tries to repay you by giving you something that you don't want or don't need. And I think I upset him yesterday because I turned down for the second time something that he tried to give me. And it's just not my thing. And I am so blazing this morning. can always tell when you're the first one out. Start picking up the spider webs. But anyways, this guy, last night, he camped with us at Muskrat Shelter. He was up away from us, so I didn't talk to him a whole lot. I did talk to him a lot at the hostel. And last night, he got in probably 2 hours, 2.5 hours after I did. And he's a skinny little guy. I mean, he's not, I don't mean skinny. I mean, he's a slim guy. He seems to be in good shape. But yeah, he arrived at camp a couple hours after I did, maybe an hour and a half after the two youngsters. But when I went down to check on him, he set his tent up in a lower area away from us. And he informed me that he was almost out of food. And we still got 2 more days to get to town, or a day and a half. And yeah, out of food, and had no more power on his phone. He carries a solar battery charger that doesn't really work in the mountains when there's not a lot of sun out. And this time of year, there's not a lot of sun out. The clouds get trapped in the mountains. They don't go anywhere. So it's overcast almost all day. You get maybe, I think the last couple of days we've gotten, I don't know, maybe 3-4 hours of sun. Not enough to charge his phone. So anyways, I told him, listen, come up. I've got some extra food. I got enough to get you into town. And I've got enough juice in my 2 battery packs to give you a charge, at least enough to get you into town. And so that's what we did. But when he got up there, his cord, it was an Apple cord. I don't have any spares of those. I don't use an Apple, but his cord didn't work. It was broken. So he ended up borrowing one of the youngsters, Cody. He borrowed Cody's cord. I don't know. He's not prepared to be out here. I hope he learns. If he's going to stay out here, I hope he learns. I don't think he's staying, but we'll see. I did hear him call his wife or girlfriend or somebody and say, pick me up at Winding Stair Gap Thursday at noon. I don't mind helping people, but I don't want to help people over and over and over and over again. I understand coming out here to some degree without the knowledge that you need, because it's a new experience for most people. But I don't know. I don't know anybody that's come out here that unprepared. All right. Anyways, I'm going to put this down because this looks like a nice, easy path, and I want to haul some butt. Just stopped to look out. How beautiful is that? Oh my. That's just beautiful. All right. As much as I hate to, gotta go. I've been out here right at 1 hour, and I've come 2.2. And it's been fairly flat. I mean, there's been some elevation, but it's been steady, like what I'm on right now. It's a steady up. But I'm just coming over the top of this first little ridge, and I've got about 2 miles. That's kind of a gradual downhill, so I should be able to make some even better time here. But the big thing for today is Albert Mountain. For those of you who don't know, Albert Mountain at the top, Fire Tower, the first 100-mile marker. And I'm hopeful. I'm going to be there in about 4 miles, 4-point-something miles. Right now, everything seems to be kind of clear. I'm really hoping to get a view from there. They say the view is spectacular. I did not get it in 23 because it was just socked in. So I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. Hey. Come almost 4 miles. Making really good time right now. That's going to change here shortly, though, because we're getting down to the bottom of this section down at Betty's Creek Gap, where 3 years ago the bears were having a feast because the folks that were camping there, that's where they were hanging their food bags about 5 feet off the ground, and they lost them. They were gone. The bears had a field day. I was supposed to stop there. When I got there, I decided this was not the place for me. There was no place to hang my food bag, and I wasn't going to do what the other folks had done. So that was when I stopped flip-flopping with Navigator and Cole and Jeff at the time and started hiking with them. And I believe I did my biggest day of the trail at that point, which was around 12-something miles. And that seems like a long time ago. But yeah, we've got just a few miles left before we hit Albert Mountain. And that's going to be a tough climb. The beginning of it's not so bad. It's a tough climb, but at the very top, it gets really tough. To the point where they've actually got a ladder there, or had a ladder there. I don't know if it's still there or not. We'll find out shortly. To get up one of the really steep sections that you're not going to get up without a ladder. A lot of memories through these next couple of days. A lot of memories. I find myself this year not using my trekking poles on some of the level surfaces and some of the downhills. They kind of slow me down now. I definitely use them on the uphill because I need that little bit of extra boost. And there's times that I just feel comfortable with the trekking poles in my hand going downhill, especially if I got a wide enough area that I can do them without hitting different plants and whatnot on the side of the trail. But overall, it's just... This is probably a place where I should be using them through these routes. Gives you an extra point to balance on. An extra 2 legs to keep you from falling down. And that's what I'm going to do right now. Navigator, if you're watching, this look familiar. Beautiful. I remember Jeff down there squishing his feet through the mud. We camped right up there a little bit, and Navigator and Cole hammocked up there a little bit. We hung our bear bag out there in the middle of the field, and great bear hang. It was awesome. All right, I'm gonna stop and fill up with water and keep going. This is where, after we got water from the culvert, this is where Jeff and I tented. That log that's sticking out over the bank. Jeff was on the upper side, I was on the lower side, and Navigator and Cole were just up there in their hammocks. And I remember we could see our bear bags hanging way out yonder. And those were 2 of the best bear hangs we had the whole time. Oh, good memories, man, good memories. This was the start of my trail family. I love it. Check this out. This stuff never ceases to amaze me. That tree is on top of that root. Or rock, I'm sorry. And that is one big ass tree. That is so freaking cool. How the roots just wrap itself around these rocks and live. That's awesome, man. All right. All right. We are just a few feet from the top of Albert Mountain. Check this out. Oh my God. Oh my. All right. I want to get to this 100-mile marker. It's right at the top, just maybe 5 minutes away. I can see the tower. All right, there it is. First 100 down. First 100 down. I got here 5 days earlier. Holy shit. Yeah, 5 days earlier than I did the last time. And look at this view. I didn't get this view when I was up here before, folks. Man, this is just beautiful. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. I don't know what this camera does yet. This is different than the one I had last time, so I'm still adjusting to it. But man, oh man, oh man, oh man, that's beautiful. All right. I've come 6.7 miles, so more than halfway now. And the big climb for the day is done. Listen, Albert Mountain is no freaking joke. It's amazing how your memory remembers some things perfectly and other things not so perfect. There was a kind of a man-made ladder that took you up one section of Albert Mountain. I remembered that ladder being much steeper than it was. So, well, I guess we always remember things harder than they were. You know, it's like every good story. You need a little bit of exaggeration to make it great. So that's just the way it goes. So by videotaping, I can't do that. So, but listen, I am so tickled. I'm happy that I was able to get a view, and what a view, huh? What kind of view was that? That was one of the prettiest views you will see on this trail. And I'm glad I got it this time. It was wonderful. I'm glad I got to enjoy it with one of the young men that I'm hiking with right now. The two guys I'm hiking with are named Andy and Cody. And Andy actually caught me just before we got to the last 0.3 of a mile coming up that Albert Mountain. So we flip-flopped a couple times because it was steep. I mean, it was steep. Every little set of stairs or every little section, whoever was in front stopped to take a breather, and the other guy passed him, and so on and so forth. But he got there first. But, you know, it's not that I want to beat these guys. That's not what it is. I use that to kind of put pressure on myself because I am such a competitive person. And by putting that pressure on myself, it pushes me. And so hopefully I can go a little bit further and become a little bit stronger, a little bit faster. That's the point of it. Not to beat them. Although it is fun when you get to a shelter and you look at the youngsters coming in after you. But this kid, Andy, kid's got legs like freaking tree trunks. He just kind of waltzes up these mountains. Well, that's not true. He was struggling too, but he's much stronger than I am. And if he wanted to, he could run circles around me. So creeping up on 7 miles. And that thing is so old you can't even read it. Oh well. Okay. I will tell you that coming up Albert Mountain, it took some juice out of me. No question. And I've been texting a little bit back and forth with Ella. She's with her parents right now, taking a day off. And then I guess tomorrow he's going to take her up to Fontana and get her going through the Smokies. I think she's already done this section, so she's good to go. I do miss hiking with her. She's such a delightful young lady, and she takes a lot of interest in my stories, which I love to tell. So it was a good match while it lasted, and hopefully I can stay in touch with her, and vice versa. And yeah, it'll be good. She's a good kid, good kid. All right, I'm gonna put this camera down, get my tracking poles, and try to put on a little bit of burst of speed. Look at this. I love these mountain laurels. They're gorgeous. Just the way the trunks grow on them. Gives you that enchanted forest feel. And you'll hear me say that tons of times along this trail. But come about 8.3, 8.4 miles. Less than 4 to go. And it's just past noon. So in a perfect world, I can get to camp by 2 o'clock. In Gary's world, probably closer to 3. But I'll take either one of them. Yeah, it's beautiful. I love this. Love this. All right. Keep on rolling. Yeah, my feet are starting to hurt. Usually when I get that 8-9 mile mark, that's when they really start to fire up. Yeah. They tend to hurt more going uphill. The Achilles, the heel, from the arch all the way up, probably about 6 inches on the ankle. I think that's they call that plantar fasciitis, and I don't know how to deal with it. All I know is it hurts, and it seems, like I said, it seems to hurt worse going uphill. Downhill, it seems to calm down until you do a lot of downhill, and it just fires back up again. So I don't know. You got to suck it up and deal with it. That's all you can do. I pretty much live in pain with my elbow as it is. So pain to me is just kind of relative. I mean, it is what it is. The older you get, or at least for me, the older I get, I mean, I beat my body to death through my life. Through sports, I played tons of sports. Every job I've ever had, except working at the group home, has been a very physical job, and it takes a toll on your body. It is what it is. I haven't seen any comments from my brother, Ninja. I wonder if he's watching. Let me know if you are. If I stay on the trail, I'd love to see you get on the trail with me when I get up to where you got off before. Give you some motivation to work on that knee. God, I'd love to hike with him again. He's such a good guy. Such a good guy. I think that looks like a good spot for my tent right there. We are at Rock Gap Shelter. We did 12.2 miles today, and most of the day was fairly easy, but there was a huge climb at Albert Mountain to get up to the 100-mile marker at the fire tower. That was pretty cool, but it was a tough climb. It was a real tough climb, and don't want to do that again. Well, yeah, I do, but anyways, there are quite a few people here tonight. There are guys that come rolling in that did 19 miles today. There are a couple other guys that took a shortcut. They're not through hiking, so it doesn't matter. They need to get to a certain point by a certain time tomorrow, and so they had to take a shortcut to get here. But it's probably, I don't know, 10, 12 people down at the shelter, just chatting away right now. So I'll probably go down and join them for a few minutes, but it's going to be an early night for me. I'm tired. These bigger miles that I'm doing, this is not what I planned on doing. I'm glad I'm doing them. It's pushing me really to my limits right now, and I want to be cautious. I don't want to go beyond that limit and get injured, and then I can't hike with Navigator and Deb and Abby. So that's important. So I may just slow it down just a notch. I am going into town tomorrow. Deb's going to pick us up after we've got a very short day. We're doing a Nero tomorrow. I think we're only doing 3.8 miles, something like that. Deb's going to pick us up at Winding Stair Gap, take us into Franklin, North Carolina, where I'm going to spend the night and resupply, get more food, take care of all my stuff that I need to take care of. So, anyways, I think there's a guy waiting to come down here to the. Now he's doing the same thing I'm doing. Okay. It's been a long day. I'm tired. I need a rest, and I'm going to get a short rest. I don't plan on taking a 0, but I always have that option. But I don't plan on it right now. I'm going to hit my tent. It's been raining part of the day. I didn't get in the rain. I got a couple of sprinkles on me, but it didn't start raining until after I hit the shelter. And some of these guys, they came through thunderstorms. So they're right now they seem to be happy down there. But I'm going to call it a night. And tomorrow's a short day, but we'll talk to you later. A nice sunset to end the evening.